Hey, what'd you think about part one? A lot of stuff done on that guitar, right? Well, welcome to part two of our barn find on that PRS. I call it a barn find because that's kind of a generic term for something that's been set up for a long time. This was found in a warehouse, actually. But you know, you get the gist. But you know, it's early in the morning. Got my coffee, ready to get started. So let's get on to part two of the PRS Barn Find. All right, we're back at this one again. Put a towel down because yesterday when I was cleaning, remember this one was really filthy. And when I was cleaning it up, got a lot of dirt and stuff on my workbench. So I wanted to put a towel down today, kind of work on that towel. I think we got all the electronics squared away. We replaced the output jack. We also went ahead and replaced the single wire, the dual wire with two individual wires for that. Soldered those in. This pickup was giving us hell, but we got it working. We replaced all the screws. I've ordered the tailpiece for it. Found one on eBay. So I went ahead and ordered that. Next thing we're going to be doing is working on this headstock. That's what we're working on today. I haven't touched it. So this is how the customer brought it to me. So we're gonna completely take the tuners off. They're a mess, both front and back. Again, looks like this thing sat in a smoke-filled environment for, I don't know, years, really. So we're gonna clean all this out. We're gonna clean it up. So first things first, let's go ahead and just throw a cleaner on there for now, just to knock off the big stuff. I don't like when people try to wrap the tail of the string back through the hole, because it just makes it a holy mess for changing strings. Because that, my friends, is tobacco. That's what smoking does to your guitars. Okay, so when I'm taking these type of tuners off, you see the screws back here? I normally leave those screws on. Start with this side, and we'll just pull those off. All right, so we got all those off. Probably going to end up polishing these because they're kind of tarnished. This one, damn, wash it over. Come on. I'm going to put those in a solution and let them break up off that dirt. Now we can start undoing these screws. Got to be careful. This is an older guitar. You don't want to force anything, because if we break a screw down in that neck, it's a pain in the butt to get out. You got to be kind of careful when you're doing this.
That light show me it's real. Sawdust flying, sweat on the fret. Chasing tone I ain't called yet. Family watching, I hope they see this mess of tools.
Well, I have that truss rod cover off. I'm going to see if that truss rod's going to react for us. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's moving pretty freely. That's great. Great to know. We're going to use just a little bit of this medium cut polish. And it doesn't take a whole lot. If I can get it out. There we go. get that, kind of spread that around. I'll put enough on there. We'll go ahead and get the edges too. Right now we're just spreading it around, so when we turn our gun on, what we don't get is splatter everywhere. So we'll first put on our applicator pad on this little handy dandy gun I got, little buffing gun. And when I turn on the applicator, when I do the applicator, I turn the speed all the way down to 1. Just goes nice and easy and slow. So a lot of people make the mistake when they're using compounds. They will utilize the compound kind of like a wax and then let it dry. Compounds aren't meant to dry on the surface, or they will scar a surface. Anytime you're compounding, before you let that dry, you want to go back and buff it off. I've got 2 different buffer wheels. I have this kind of medium and then this fine buffer. So we'll go with the medium first and we'll go back and fine buff it out. The buffing, I turn all the way up. Now that we did a couple layers of the medium buff, we're going to go back with the high brush, high buff. And then all we do is we take it and just use a very soft cloth. And that head looks brand freaking new. Wow, that's stunning. That looks brand new. Really does. It feels brand new too. I mean, it is amazing. Now that I rub my fingerprints all on it, get the edges real good. And we'll turn over and do the back of the headstock. And holy smoke, what a difference, huh? Isn't that beautiful? By the way, that's a glare. There we go. Oh, that's a glare from a light, overhead light. But yeah. All right. So let's set the guitar aside for now. And we're going to work on those tuners, because what I'd like to do is just finish up this whole headstock at one time. So we're going to finish it off by just cleaning those tuners. All right, we are back. I had to go get me some coffee, to be honest with you. A little coffee in the morning is my kind of tea. My cup of tea. Coffee is my cup of tea. What the hell? Oh. All right, let's grab these tuners, see what we can do here. See what we got to work with. PRS tuners. I'm just going to grab this little polishing towel, nothing on them, because it's chrome. You don't need to use a whole lot of metal polish on them. They normally come off pretty good without anything. The washers, I checked these. There's these little washers in between the turning knob and the shaft here. They're little Teflon or nylon washers, and that's what kind of gives you the resistance. You can tighten and loosen them, and I'm checking them as I go, but I haven't found any that look broke or tipped or anything. So I do have those in stock, because I find that to be a common problem.
Sawdust flying sweat on the fret, chasing tone.
So on these 3/3, you have 2 different types of tuners, so 2 different style tuners. You have one that has the nipple to the right and one that has nipples to the left. And they are meant to go in a certain spot on that neck. So all these will go to one side and all these will go to the other side. So let me make some room for the guitar to come back in. All right, when I'm putting these back on, what I do is I always start with the nut, and I just put the nut on just tight enough to hold it in place while I get the screw ready. And I do one side at a time. All right, before we move on, let's address this cover. I noticed this cover was kind of loose, but again, the owner wants to try to stay as original as possible. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get that. Well, we should be able to. I'm putting a new screw in there because the one that came out was very rusty, very nasty. Oh yeah, tightened right up. Man, I couldn't be more pleased with how that head turned out. What do y'all think? We're going to address the frets first, then we'll come back and address the back of the neck. So what we're going to do is clean the fretboard. After we clean it, we're not going to condition it yet. We're just going to clean it first, get all that scum and junk out of it. Then we'll tape it off, and polish the frets. But we got to get that gunk off of there first.
Texas under that red hot sun.
All right, got that taped up, guys. Looking good, looking good, looking good. I think it's time for me to take a little break, get a refilling coffee. All right, what I like to do once I have it taped like this, before I start polishing, I will want to go and rock all of our frets to make sure they are level. Now I will tell you, of all my years of doing this, Paul Reed Smith guitars have come in and out of the shop a lot. And I think I can remember maybe once I ever had a fret issue on a Paul Reed Smith. This being an older Paul Reed Smith, and it's been sitting up in a storage building for 15 years. I don't know what to expect. So let's get started on rocking. I've got my rocking tool. This is the one that came with Music Nomad's little measuring toolkit. So I'm gonna start at the front and just work my way down.
Up from the ground, from the fire line to the fret line, same kind of flame, different.
There was very little movement on this rocking tool as I went down this deck. I found two spots that barely tapped out, but that's common on guitars. Again, you're never going to find perfectly leveled guitars, especially 20-year-old guitars. They're never going to be perfectly level, but there's a difference between a slight little tap and actually unlevel. Unlevel, you'll hear this when you rock. If it's just barely out, it'll barely be a noticeable. So once you start teching and the more you rock these, the better feel you get on what needs to be addressed and what doesn't. I didn't feel anything on this that really needs to be addressed. So we are ready to start polishing. All right, all cleaned up. Now let's condition this fretboard. we know that this has been sitting in a warehouse for a long time. So I've got this F1 formula from Music Nomad. It seems to hydrate and penetrate into that wood better than any other product that I found, better than lemon oil, better than the other guitar manufacturers' stuff. This seems to just get really into those fibers, and it takes very little to use. The only problem I found with this F1 is that when you try to take the cap off, a lot of times the spout comes off with it. And I don't know how to really fix that issue. So Music Nomad, if you watch this, figure out a way to keep that spout from coming off with the cap. It only takes, I put a dot wherever there's not a fret marker. And that tends to give me enough to hydrate that whole neck and condition that whole neck. They send this little towel with it. It's got a scratchy side and a non-scratchy side because we want it to penetrate a little bit better and we want to do a little bit of cleaning. We're going to use the scratchy side. Man, that looks fantastic. Like I said, that F1 formula just does a freaking awesome job. I don't know what the difference is. I'm sure it's not just mineral oil as all those other conditioners are. Just mineral oil. This seems to have something different. So, really a big fan. All right. So there is our fret conditioning. What do y'all think? It turned out really nice. Everything's turning out good so far. So now we're going to address the back of the neck. We got the headstock done. We got the frets polished. We got the board conditioned. It's really time to start addressing the back of the neck. And I think, let's go ahead and just do the compound. Do it right. If we're gonna do something, do it right. So we are going to start off by just doing a real good job of cleaning it. Never shake it up too much. Now we learned that this stuff goes a long way. So I'm not going to put a whole lot on the guitar right now. We're just going to rub all this in. All right, now we take a nice finished polishing pad.
Fixing strings and sipping dreams. Ted and Brian know what it means. Brand's got laughs that cut like steel. Hit that like, show me it's real.
Wow, that turned out beautiful. What do y'all think? Let me give you some light on that. My light's gonna fall, I promise you. Let me bring it over there. Look at that. Look how beautiful that headstock turned out. How beautiful that neck turned out. And I told you I did the back of the body. Look at that. How awesome that is. So we still need to do the sides. Tuners turned out beautiful. Headstock turned out, no, that's just fingerprints from me moving it. There we go. Man, oh man, look at that fretboard. Look how shiny those frets are. How clean that board is. I'm here to tell you, this guitar is going to look brand new when I get done with it. And that's what the owner wanted. He wanted a fresh guitar.